Hello, Internet Dwellers, and welcome to Franchise Schmanchise. I am Jeff Bell here with my co-host, TC DeWitt.
Hello.
He's over there. Hello.
Hi.
And today we are watching the 1988 movie Die Hard, starring Bruce Willis and directed by John McTiernan. And by the end of this episode, we will answer, does this movie deserve a sequel? And like Hans Gruber, let's fall right into this bad boy.
Oh, good start.
Good start. That was not the opening we discussed.
No, I told you to throw me a curveball right off the bat.
That's what I wanted.
All right, I got my brand new Rolex watch ready to be released from my wrist so we can fall into this.
I have my packaging tape on my back, with
That's good.
a bullet that I'm just going to throw at you.
Should we assume that anyone listening to this has watched the movie?
I would like to assume that.
Okay.
I feel like for this podcast, this whole series, like the whole point of this is going to be, we're going to talk about the movie as if you've watched it, you know, and maybe something that I do will be a small little mini episode prior to the series of episodes going, hey guys, we're going to start watching this movie, you know, or these movies.
Yeah. Do like a plug. This week on Franchise Schmanchise, we'll be reviewing Die Hard. So if you haven't seen it, now's your chance to hit up Netflix where it is streaming.
Exactly. Like something just so that way people have the heads up, and then, you know, then we can't be responsible for spoiling anything.
That's right.
Right?
Although everyone should have seen this movie. Christmas just passed.
I know.
So
it's a Christmas
obviously
movie.
A Christmas tradition. Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many people who give crap about the fact that this movie is not a Christmas movie. And it's like, oh, come on.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
That is more Santa than 90% of Christmas movies in the last 10 years have been, okay? So
yeah, come on now.
There's lots of red. It
Keep
might be
the Christmas
blood.
in Die Hard, people.
That's the way the slogan is, right? That's how it is.
Hashtag keep the Christmas in Die Hard.
Oh man, we need to start making shirts. All right. So yes, obviously we're going to talk about this movie as if you guys have seen it. I know you and I have seen this movie countless times.
Yeah,
but
many times.
Many times, and both of us had just recently rewatched it. But yeah, so I guess let's just start talking about the movie. Let's throw it out there. Why is this a movie that for you personally, I mean, we'll get a little personal because that's going to obviously help our opinions and help support our opinions. Why is it a movie that you come back to watching? What about the movie do you like? What works?
Actually, to be honest, it does remind me of my best friend growing up. My best friend, Jason, he had the Die Hard poster in his room. He watched it. He was the reason I ever even saw it in the first place. So I do definitely have some nostalgic fond memories for it. But the growing up and continuing to go back to it, it's because it's this standard of action movies. The simplicity of it, the realism, which I'm putting air quotes around, because when you look at action movies now, they are so blown out. They are so over the top.
Yeah.
And you can only suspend your disbelief so much. With Die Hard, it's the everyman, John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, to perfection. This really, when you think about it, a schleppy, middle-aged, balding beat cop from New York, detective from New York.
Not really that good looking either, really.
Yeah. And he changed the definition of action hero. He cried, and it wasn't the bawling freak out PTSD of Rambo. Oh,
oh God, I just laughed so hard at that scene.
John McClane is real. Like he's an everyman, and you can see, and I feel like you can see yourself in him. I can see myself in him. I can imagine. I think I could rise to the occasion like that.
And the thing is that when he does rise to the occasion, but even when he does, I'm peeking for some reason. I apologize. I'm looking at my microphone here. I'm going way over the top. Let's bring that down. There we go. But even when he
down boy.
Oh boy, is that worse? Let's go this way. No, that's worse. Hold on. Sorry. Oh yay, episode 1.
Learning, and getting,
Learning.
and working the kinks out.
But no, so oh man, I'm not spacing. So, but yeah, even when he does rise to the occasion, so he has those moments going along with your saying, like the whole realism to it. He has the moments where he's like, no, I can do this, and I can help this and this, but they don't always succeed. You know, things
he's
don't
not perfect,
right?
He's not he's not indestructible. That's another thing that happens with modern day action movies. And even action movies of the past, the hero is indestructible. This guy, John McClane, tooth and nail, fights to the bitter end, bleeding, beat up, Hans. You know, it's
and you can tell by the end of the movie when it's the final face off between him and Hans, like you can tell when he starts laughing, there's a part where it's almost like he's lost it. Like he's not there. Yeah, he's a little crazy now. And that's the beauty. That's going back to that kind of realism, because if you were put into that situation, which this whole movie takes place in what, like 5 hours maybe?
Yeah, like a night.
Night.
It's from sundown well to midnight, somewhere in there. So like 6 hours, maybe that even, 5-6 hours.
Right. And it's just you would be that way too at the end of the night, or after that whole thing, you'd just be like, oh my god, it's finally fucking over. I'm so glad it's over.
And another thing that brings me back to this movie so often is how well written it is. Every little detail plays out over the course of the movie. You are introduced to that watch right up front. Right? Holly's watch, it's a Rolex. They just draw attention to it in that first scene with Ellis when John gets to the party. They just draw attention to it, and that's it. And then it pays off in the end when he unclasps that watch to kill Hans.
Very good point.
Tight.
You almost. I mean, they introduce it to you at a point where you actually forget about it. Like you kind of go say, "Oh yeah, that's the watch." Okay, whatever, and then you don't,
because Ellis is the one introducing it, and you just hate that guy. It's like, you cokehead. Anything you say, I'm just gonna ignore.
John, Bubby. No, it's
Bubby.
Hans. He does it to Hans.
Bubby, I'm your white knight. Ellis, you don't know what you're doing. Just tell these people you don't know me. After all, how could you say that after all these years, John? Oh, Ellis is the worst.
Oh, man. Is he the one death in the movie that I'm actually okay with? No.
Oh, man.
The FBI agents.
Oh, the Johnsons.
God.
Oh, boy.
Which, that was, so I made some notes, like when I was watching the movie. Again, as many times as I've seen it, I still jotted down some of my own notes just to kind of remember. And one of my questions was actually, were the FBI guys made to be dicks, so when they died, you didn't care about them as much? Like, because even Nakatomi, the president, dude, when he gets killed, you're still kind of like, oh, shit, what, why, okay, like you still at least have a visceral reaction. When the FBI guys go down in the helicopter, you're like, oh, good, because they were kind of annoying. Like, I just didn't care about them anymore.
But here's the thing. Every single character in this movie is memorable. Even those two Johnson & Johnson dickhead FBI agents.
True.
Because you got, one is like 10 years older, 10, 15 years older than the other one. He's like, just like Saigon, huh? It's like, asshole, I was in junior high. Like, just that, those two sentences speak miles about the characters. That not only you have these two generation gaps, they're both dickheads. Obviously, they don't know each other very well.
Right.
One of them was in Vietnam. One of them is mouthing off to his idiot partner like, "You dumbass, hey dickhead, I was in junior high."
Yeah.
Like, that's great. And all the thugs, all the Hans group. Each one of those guys are individuals as well, and I maybe don't know their names, but I can say, oh, there's the brothers, the two blondes.
Right.
One's got the glasses, one's got the long hair. He's pissed. Oh, that guy looks pissed.
Only John can make somebody that angry. So then you have the black guy who is actually doing the drilling into the vault. Which is okay.
And he's got all the sports metaphors.
Right. You have Huey Lewis, who's running the front desk.
I always thought it looked like Huey Lewis, too.
Thank you. That is one of my notes.
$50 riding on this game.
One of my notes. I think it's the my 6 notes. For the longest time, I always thought the henchman who takes over the front desk was Huey Lewis. Always.
I so did. I literally said that to Candace when we were watching the movie. I'm like, I always thought that was Huey Lewis.
Because it's like, it looks like him. And it's like, well, it's the 80s. Maybe he wanted to be in a movie. I don't know. It's what do most musicians want to do at some point? They get into acting. So
he got into Back to the Future. That's all that matters.
Hey, yes.
And then there's the Asian guy who gets the Crunch Bar.
Yep, who's in every single 80s action movie.
He's the 80s Asian henchman.
He played Attila the Hun in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yep.
He's also, I think he's in the Ninja Turtles movies. I think he's one of the turtles. I think, he might be one of the one of the Foot.
One of the Foot. Okay.
Yep, and I'm talking the original Turtles, not the.
Not the
and then obviously he's in Lethal Weapon. He's the guy who electrocutes Mel Gibson in the first one. Like that guy. I'm like, yeah, he's in everything that I watched as a kid.
You know what? It's another thing. 2 of the greatest 80s assholes are in this movie. You got Dean Vernon from The Breakfast Club, who's this is Lieutenant Captain Robinson or whatever his name is, the Al's boss.
Yep.
And then you got reporter EPA extraordinaire. What's his name? Richard. It's the redhead guy.
I was just trying to look him up really, really quick just to William Atherton.
Okay, there you go. That's it. Yeah. Who is Ghostbusters, Top Secret, Die Hard. I feel bad for that guy. He probably couldn't walk down the street in New York City in the 80s without getting eggs thrown at him. Hey, Dickless!
Oh, man. But you know what? He plays it so well. And
well. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Good.
It's like he's the dick you want to hate. He's the guy you want to hate. And
you know what?
Well.
He's still not the worst person in the movie. Ellis is still the worst person in the movie.
That's true. Oh, Ellis. Oh, man.
Go ahead.
I always remember Ellis, like whenever I watch this movie, like the first 2 times watching it, I'm just like, what? Why is he doing that? What is he? Stop it. No, dude,
Because
they're obviously going to kill you.
Cocaine, Jeff. Cocaine.
Crazy 80s. Man, they get the best of you, don't they? Stupid 80s. So going along with that, so one of the things I started thinking about on this viewing of it, of the movie was the movie has a fair amount of timelessness to it. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, yes, some of the clothing choices, some of the architecture, to a degree, and then there's a couple comments and references made generally about not politics, but like political or government rulers or stuff like that, or people of the era. A little bit of stuff like that, but outside of all that, it's actually fairly timeless. Like, there's not a lot of... It
does hold up.
Right.
Yeah, it holds up.
And that's what I realized this time. I'm watching it going like, so not only do you have Bruce Willis playing an everyday man where, a lot of people could, like you said before, a lot of people could put themselves going, oh yeah, I think if push came to shove, I probably could do something like that, or some degree.
Much easier to imagine yourself as John McClane than Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, exactly. Oh, I could totally imagine myself as John McClane over Rambo.
Well, yeah.
Any day.
I don't know, Jeff. I've seen you with your shirt off.
That's
you
true.
Look like Sylvester Stallone.
It's the muscles. The muscles. But so not only do you have that, but you have this very fairly timeless story and movie. Really it all, the bad guys still come down to just being bank robbers. All they want is the money. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else. They just want to get money and then to be gone.
And that goes back to what I said about the simplicity of this movie, is that it's not super complicated.
Yeah.
And even to the point that there are no surprises in this movie. We, as the audience, know all the information.
Yeah.
We know that the bad guys are lying. We know what John knows. We know what Hans knows. We know what Al and the cops know. We know everything. And yet, it's still thrilling to watch it play out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, there's no punches hidden. The closest you get to anything being surprising is just when somebody dies. Like, who gets killed?
Yes. Yeah, but plot-wise, there aren't any surprise twists that happen along the way. Because, like, a modern-day movie would, if you think of something like Swordfish,
okay.
which Swordfish is kind of, that's the John Travolta, Halle Berry.
Hugh Jackman,
yeah.
Right.
And that all comes down to a robbery, too. And John Travolta is playing this blown-out, super over-the-top Hans Gruber, right?
Right.
So in Die Hard, we know that the roof is rigged to explode. We know that they're going to blow up the helicopters to fake their deaths so they can escape through the basement. We know that.
Right.
There's no... In a modern day movie, they would like trick you like, ooh, the roof blew up. Clearly they're dead. No.
And then had the surprise at the end when they're still alive or something along those lines. Yep.
Although we do still get that when when big, tall, long-haired Blondie comes back from the dead for Al's little bow tie on the end of his story.
Exactly. Which I always, I'm like, oh, nice little like slasher film moment where it's like, oh, we totally killed
He's still alive.
Which I'm like, how the hell did he get out of the building? And down, I mean, I know he has the blanket on him, and I suppose he just mingled in with everybody else and nobody thought a question because John was the only one that really knew what he looked like, who was still alive.
Crafty Russian.
Curse him. He was mad about his brother dying. So
he had good cause for being pissed off.
Yeah. Oh, Carl. That was it. Oh, he is no longer alive. Oh, that's sad. He died in 95. Holy cow. Sorry.
Wow, he died pretty soon after the movie was made.
Yeah, he did. I'm on IMDb and I clicked on him. Alexander Godunov?
Carl,
yeah. No, he died in 45. Or he died at the age of 45. Well, that kind of sucks. Sorry, not to be a downer moment there.
Well, okay, to stay with the downer moment, I want to make a criticism about the movie that you're saying it's not dated.
Okay.
I will absolutely agree that this movie holds up so well compared to a lot of other movies from the 80s era. Mm-hmm. And it's due in part to its simplicity, not worrying too much about fashion or playing up technology. Although their computer hacking is kind of goofy, that's fine.
True.
The one thing that is kind of a little off-putting now, just because of the climate we live in, is Al. And the reason he is in the position he is in. He doesn't want to be out on the streets anymore. He's just a desk jockey. He doesn't want to be a cop because he shot a kid. And that is a little weird now. It's very minor. I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it. But it is something that I only recently was made aware of, and I was like, oh my God, that is kind of messed up.
So like what you're saying, like nowadays they wouldn't, do you feel like they, excuse me, just throat decided to stop.
It hits a little close to home in some of the issues we deal with now with a lot of police brutality and the unfortunate circumstances of cops shooting people these days. Mm-hmm. To have his kind of arc be, okay, he shot a kid, he doesn't want to do it anymore, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, sucked into being involved in this Nakatomi Plaza thing, and the end of his arc is he was able to draw his gun and shoot someone to death again. Yay! Al did it.
Now, Carl, go and live in Chicago and continue being.
Oh wait, that's Full House. I'm sorry.
Close enough. I still for the longest time going along that route, and for the longest time have realized that Reginald VelJohnson just likes playing the same character. Which is generally a police officer, and I like to think that after the events in Die Hard, he decided, I killed people. I still don't want to kill people. I'm going to go into witness relocation and go to Chicago with my family and continue to raise my children in a different city by the name of Carl Winslow. Just saying, Carl, Al, Powell, Winslow, kind of similar.
It's pretty close. You may be onto something.
This is like the Pixar theory.
Yeah. Well, hey, now Reginald Vell Johnson reprised his role as Al Powell in the TV show Chuck.
Really?
Yeah, they did a Die Hard episode. That's the store is being taken over by terrorists, and they have the Morgan, the little sidekick character, is the John McClane, and their boss's brother is a Los Angeles police officer by the name of Al Powell, who shows up and does reenacts a lot of his moments from this movie.
I need to see this episode of Chuck now.
You can find it on Netflix. I just thought it was worth mentioning because Reginald Vell Johnson, Al, is a great character. He is awesome, an amazing sidekick.
Yeah, he's a sidekick that you don't. I guess in part of my head, he's a sidekick that you don't expect to be a sidekick. Like there's that level because when he first starts off in the movie, and this kind of goes back to my question of, like, I wrote down one of my other questions was, is Al really a good cop? Now I wrote that at the beginning, and I know he sticks it out, and he's the one that believes in John, and he doesn't, he knows that John's doing the right thing, and we need to listen to him. But at the start of that movie, he is kind of the guy who's like he doesn't really go through with his job entirely. Like when he goes and he talks to Huey Lewis,
all these Twinkies, please.
Yeah.
Talking to Huey Lewis. He's talking to Huey Lewis.
And then he goes and talks to Huey Lewis, and he walks 10 feet away from him and just basically goes, forget this, and then goes to leave. It's like, dude, there was shots fired. That call, that on-call lady at the police station, she had to hear shots being fired. So.
Oh yeah, I mean they're all like, oh god, what's that? Like when the gun goes off on the rooftop, and they're
right?
Like, oh, send a black and white down there.
I know maybe the LAPD is just a lot more lax than most people.
I was just gonna say it could be because it was Los Angeles,
and it's just like whatever.
Yeah, we get this sort of garbage all the time.
But it's just like that was my first thought of like, oh my god, he's a horrible cop, and then he spends the rest of the movie proving he's not a horrible cop. Being like, no, I like John.
Cop. He's old school. He has good instincts. He knows when to shut up. As he tells John. He believes in John, and he's a great sidekick in the movie. And despite the modern unfortunate circumstances that are reflected in his character, I think Al's great. Al and Argyle are like, Argyle is such a minor character, but to go to how good the script is, they cut to him at all the right times. He has a nice introduction as a character. You get to see him throughout, and then he has a nice final moment where he gets to like. Because he's us in a fashion. He's listening to the whole thing happen with John, and he gets it in his head to like, I'm going to stop that dude. Okay, here I go. Ooh, boom. And he runs up and punches the dude. And he's like, yeah, that's right.
And then he kind of, that's it until the end. And that's pretty much, I feel like 90% of the 90% of the population would also be like, yeah, I helped. All right, I'm going to go over there and have a panic attack now because I actually punched a guy. But I'm done. Yay, I did something. And you know what makes it what I love about Al being a great sidekick is that him and John don't physically meet until the last 3 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, right at the very end.
He's such a great sidekick, but he's not literally right beside John the entire movie, Yeah,
he's the moral support the whole time.
But it still works. Like he still is a great sidekick, and they have a great rapport between one another, and it's just like, oh, this is I in my head I pictured like John would move to LA and work with Al. Like that's kind of the
friends with him. Oh yeah.
Like he would just be his bud.
It's it's a good development of John's character and how he interacts with Al. Like
right.
He the first time he shows up, he's like, who's driving that thing? Stevie Wonder? And he's like, welcome to the party, pal. And as soon as he gets him on the radio, He's like, "Hey, was that you? I dropped the body on. How you doing? You okay?" And they become friends really quickly, and they have a very good chemistry right off the bat. And it's because John is such a good guy. He's a damn good guy, and he knows a good guy when he's talking to him.
Right. Yeah, because he knows immediately when he's talking to the deputy chief. You know,
It's like Craig Robinson.
Yep. just like no
Dwayne Robinson.
That's right. But he's just like he talks to him for like 2 minutes and basically just tells him to shut up and put the other guy back on the phone.
Put the other guy back on.
Yeah. It's like you said, he knows John can tell a good person when he talks to him, and knew immediately that the deputy chief, Dwayne T. Robinson, was just going to be is just a not the by the books, but just the cliche dick asshole character. He's like, no, I don't want to deal with you.
Detention, Dwayne.
It's so good though. I was trying to think of some of the other stuff here that like Hans is what's nice.
Let's talk about Hans.
Let's talk about Hans.
Let's talk about Hans Gruber here. A very ultimate villain here in cinematic history. But why? Let's talk about him.
He's not at this point in time, and I'm trying to think of like circa when this movie came out, the late 80s, we had so many villains that were very obviously bad guys. Cliche bad guys.
Twirling, hand wringing, James Bond level. Clearly, I'm the bad guy.
Exactly.
No questions about this.
But then you get somebody like Hans Gruber. And Hans is very well educated. He's almost like a businessman. He borderlines on like he looks like somebody who would own a company. You know, I kind of feel like him and Nakatomi would like, or sorry, not Nakatomi, Takagi.
Ellis. Oh, yeah. Takagi. Yeah,
Takagi.
Mr. Takagi.
Like, I feel like those two, if not for the situation at hand, they'd be off playing golf somewhere. They'd be at business meetings. Like, he's just another one of the rich guys in LA. Because
Let's discuss a hostile takeover.
just like that. Of Hogwarts. But that's so bad. No. But like he's very he knows what he's talking. I mean, he recognizes the suits that he's wearing because he's got two of his own, like little things like that. And and he's smart. He knows what he's doing, but at the same time, he also is putting on a little bit of an act because like when he's listing off I need you to here's our demands, get rid of all these people, and he pauses.
Our brothers in arms who are in prison across the world.
and he pauses and he's like, I read it in Time magazine. Like just little things like that where he's still human. They made him human. He's not just the Bond grand villain.
Yeah, there's something to be said in that he has intelligence. He has some history. We don't get a lot of answers about who he is, but it's in Alan Rickman's portrayal of him that he feels like a full-fledged person. Something that was pointed out to me in watching it again recently. I think it was Candace or her brother pointed out Hans's suits aren't tailored to him very well. And I don't think that was like a stylistic choice, but it kind of speaks to the false the airs he's putting on to be this grand super thief. He's not an excellent thief. He's faking it. He's faking it really, really well.
But is still faking it nonetheless.
Yeah. And having his suits not fit him quite right kind of shows, well, you're not as high upper class super thief as you think you are. You are just a robber, a bank robber. You might as well be wearing black and white stripes with the bag with the $ sign on it. No, I'm an excellent thief.
That's a good point. I guess I never noticed that. I never noticed that in any of the viewings that they're not as perfectly tailored, which then that brings up a good question. Does he actually have two suits of his own? Yeah.
He might have them, but he might have stole them.
Right. And that's why he knows it. Like, did he get him from did he actually go out and buy them himself because he's got that much money? Obviously, if he's robbing banks, he doesn't have a ton of money, or not robbing banks, but robbing a corporation. But that's actually a good theory. That's not a good theory, a good point. Like, I guess I never pointed that out. Good podcast. If I do say so myself.
Oh yeah, I will agree with you. But he's kind of like the really geeky, bullied guy who's really, really smart and decides, you know what, I'm gonna take what I deserve.
Mm-hmm.
I deserve this, and it's kind of the backlash of being pushed around as you're brainy, you nerd, you knock your books out of your hand style of upbringing that led him to, like, no, I'm gonna use my brains and get back at the people who hurt me. I want all the money. It seems a little bratty.
Yeah, like, I'll show them I could be just as good as everybody else, and I'll get away with the money, and I'll go and live on, my own island somewhere collecting 20%.
He's really, really smart. I don't get the sense, though, that he has done this more than maybe a couple times. I think this is his first big gig that he's out there to prove he's one of the best. And he's got it all worked out in his head. And then comes along John McClane, the fly in the ointment, the monkey in the wrench.
Well, and what was the news reporter was talking about something like that in that one quick shot or scene that when they first identified who Hans was, being like they believed that he was a member of this organization but had recently been kicked out of it or something.
Yeah. And I almost wonder if that's a great little bit of character information about Hans that, like, oh, well, he was part of an organization that booted him out.
What was it? It's a German. At some point in his adult life, Hans fell in with the Volksfrei, a West German terrorist organization. However, he was expelled from the movement, presumably for his overly violent and extreme methods of getting things done. So, what would be an interesting thing is if maybe Hans was actually like a Carl in that organization. He wasn't in charge. He was a henchman.
Mm-hmm. And he led some sort of coup, like, come on, guys, we'll go start our own terrorist group.
Exactly. So that's interesting. And then this was his first, like, oh yeah, we can do it, and off they went, and it happened to be also his last.
And I don't feel like there's any need to explore that. So I don't think we need. It's just all hypothetical. It's Alan Rickman's portrayal of this character is so spot. And this was his debut. This was his first time on screen. That's amazing.
To start your filmography, officially, like, on the big screen with a character like this is such amazing. How do you live up to that?
and you know what? I think that looking at his library since, I feel like Alan Rickman has done a damn fine job choosing the roles that he has chosen. He has a very good library.
He has. And he's in so many films and so many, like, things that I love. I love Alan Rickman. I mean, you
said it before, Severus Snape. I love him as the Mediterranean in Dogma.
Oh, yes. I liked him as Alexander Dane in Galaxy Quest.
Oh, yes, the Leonard Nimoy analog.
Exactly. The character who just doesn't, like, I cannot believe we are still doing this character. I was a trained actor once, but fine. By Gratharb's hammer, what a savings. Like, just, I love it. I love it.
But to speak to another debut, we have our hero. We have Bruce Willis, John McClane. And we've talked about him in terms of being the everyman. Mm-hmm. But where I feel that Alan Rickman has thrived in his career making good choices, I almost question, is John McClane in this movie the best thing Bruce Willis has ever done? Now, and I don't. Obviously, we don't want to talk about the subsequent movies, so we should just focus on this one. But just a quick little thought. Seriously, what's the best thing Bruce Willis ever did?
You kidding me? Voice of Mikey from Look Who's Talking.
Oh, yeah, got me there.
Yes.
That's funny because John Travolta's in that. That's
exactly. See future episode of Franchise number 627.
Where we watched oh my God.
I want to do Look Who's Talking at some point. That's going to happen. Those movies are going to happen.
Season 6, episode 27. You just said it.
So get ready, folks. There's going to be at least 626 more of these. What did I just do?
Oh boy.
I don't think there's that many franchises.
I don't think so.
Look Who's Talking will be the final franchise that we do. It'll be horrible. That's a good. That's a good.
I don't want to dissect Bruce Willis's career, and I think maybe we should just discuss just how damn good this performance is. But why is this so good? That's a good question. Is it because I think maybe Bruce Willis knew he was not the best choice for this in Hollywood standards. This was a chance. They took a risk by picking him. By
putting a very everyday, at this point, everyday man-esque looking person. He doesn't have, he's not rippling biceps. He's not like, oh my goodness, I just spaced. He's not like Magnum PI. He's not Tom Selleck.
No, in fact, Tom Selleck, I'm sure, was probably approached about this movie. I'm sure Stallone and Schwarzenegger were approached about this movie. But they picked a comedic actor from a network TV show, Moonlighting.
Yes.
And took a risk on this guy. And I think he knew. I think he knew that he had to prove that he was capable of doing this, and prove that he was capable of more than just being the wisecracking love interest on a romantic comedy TV series. He went at this role. I feel like there was a level of commitment into his performance. A lot of the one-liners were Bruce Willis ad-libbing.
Which totally works, it works and it fits his character. And this is where you can start getting into the argument of being like, well, is it all Bruce Willis that makes his character so memorable and so perfect, or is it a lot of the writing and a lot of the direction, and he just kind of filled in the gaps? Like, it's so hard to know unless you read the original script, I guess, original shooting script. But still, like, being
told that he ad-libbed a lot, that speaks to him, to give him the more of the credit. The majority of the credit should go to him for ad-libbing and living and breathing John McClane, as well as John McTiernan directing him and saying, "Yeah, go, go, do this."
Right.
That's a credit to those two for making this movie happen.
For knowing that the character, or that, yes, that's the correct direction for this character to go. Like, make him more sarcastic and witty and normal, basically. It's not all, yes, it is some one-liners and there's some gags, but it's still like, no, it's fine. That's the character. That's who John McClane is, as of this entry. Apparently, Robert De Niro was offered John McClane. Now,
88 De Niro. I feel like De Niro probably, just guessing, would have stuck very closely to the written word, and we wouldn't have gotten the smart-ass, lovable kind of everyman joker that John McClane is with Robert De Niro. I feel like the movie probably would have been very serious.
Yes, I agree completely. It would not be the funny, lighthearted film. Lighthearted as much as it is lighthearted.
It's still a pretty violent movie. It's still as serious, but it has a great. I know what you're saying. What you're saying.
It's got a good funny bone going through the entire thing. But yeah, with Robert De Niro in there, it would have just been another 80s dark, gritty. I feel like it would have almost been more along the lines of like a Clint Eastwood, like Dirty Harry. Esque film. A little more serious, action, violence, yes, but it wouldn't have been the energetic, upbeat, because I cannot picture Robert De Niro running around in his, bare feet, shooting at guys with a gun. Not that era Robert De Niro.
Cut out there.
Oh, sorry. Did I?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
My headphones must have cut out there for a second.
Oh, sorry.
But I absolutely agree. I don't think I like I said, I think De Niro would have approached this very seriously. Not to say it wouldn't have been a good movie, but it's what Bruce Willis did with the performance. It's that level of humor throughout that makes this movie shine. It makes it stand out.
Yep. No, I agree. And that's what it's fun. Like I like watching I like watching John McClane. What I love about this movie is I love going back to some of the writing. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. So professional. I like watching the way they convey information, especially in the first 15 minutes to establish everything. Like you said, we as the audience, we know everything that's going to go on. You know the plot of this film literally in the first 15 minutes of the movie. You know who your characters are, you know where the characters are, you know who's doing what
the stakes are.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I love the little thing, and I made a note of this. The thing that I love the most about it is they don't come out right away. They do eventually, but not right away and go, yes, Holly and I are having troubles with our marriage. Like, it's not immediate. There's a lot of subtle kind of referencing at how much trouble is it? Like, are these two people who can't stand looking at each other? Are these two people who are just, no, she went here, I stayed in New York, whatever, we're fine.
Yeah, our gal gives them a little grief about it. It's like, you didn't think she was going to make it out here, so you didn't move. It's like, you're a very observant guy, Argyle.
Yep. And like, I love the subtlety of when he finds out that she's not using the last name,
he kind of rolls his eyes, like,
yeah,
son of a bitch.
Yeah, and it's all visually, and it's on a screen of like 10 names, and you don't necessarily know who is what am I looking at? Like, that was always my biggest confusion, because it's such a wide shot of those names until he hits Holly's name, and you realize, oh, that's not, he looks up McClane, he does the MCC. And then doesn't find it, and then looks up the Gennaro, and then it's like, oh, she's not even using her. Like, just little things like that I'm like, oh, it's so clever, so well written, so well done. Like,
they don't hate each other, and you get that because you said, it's piecemealed out their relationship in that first 10, 15 minutes, and in how she looks at him when she sees him the first time, like, hey, John, there you are. She has this bright-eyed. She loves him. She clearly loves him.
She still has their photos on her desk, all those little tiny things.
Talking to the housekeeper or babysitter and saying, like, why don't you make the spare bed? I want John to stay there tonight. I'm going to ask him. She doesn't say that, but that's the implication.
Mm-hmm. And even so, like, then later on, when they are talking, when they do finally get their moment alone and they're talking, not later on, but a few minutes later, and, she's like, so where are you going to stay? Like, it's all very, not going to come out and say it, but, no, you're going to be in the car half the time. Just come, why don't you come stay with us? Kids are going to like it.
They're trying. They both are trying, and they want this.
It's not a marriage that is over. It's not done with, but it's done in so well that you, in those first 15 minutes, because obviously as you continue to watch, you realize they, after that opening scene, are not together again until he comes in at the end with the gun strapped to his back. Like, that's that's the next time they are in the same room together after that initial conversation. So it's like, you have to showcase, they had to show like how these two do want to be together, and why John is even caring. Because frankly, if they didn't give you that information, you as the audience could be watching it going, well, why does he even care? If they're not really together, why does he even bother? Just, fuck her, just leave, whatever, go save yourself. Like, really, you could go that. You could complain that, why, I don't care that he's trying to save her. Why did he have a second, why did he have a change of heart all of a sudden? Just, but you get that so well in very minimal dialogue,
Right. Yeah. Their interaction right there sets up the stakes for the audience to answer that question of, like, why should we care? But the fact that he's not just out to save his wife, he's out to save all those innocent people, shows how big of a man he is. It's not just about, I got to save my wife, she's down there. Because he does a good job at protecting her and not talking about her and not saying. When he talks to Al, he says, look, when this is all over, find my wife, don't ask me how, you'll know when this is all done how to, and tell her I'm sorry.
Right.
It's about saving all the innocent people inside, not just his wife. Yes, his wife is his main goal. Like, he came to LA to save that marriage. He lives through that night to save his wife, but he's also there to save all those innocent people.
Yep. I mean, he could have easily just like run in at one point, guns a-blazing, and took out as many people as he could, like as many of the bad guys as he could, grabbed Holly and tried making his way to the staircase or something. Like, there's many different ways he could have attempted to save her if she was the only one that he cared about. But yeah, you could see in his head when he would do something, he even has lines like that, but just like, think John, think, like, what, like, okay, well, I gotta go about this a different way. Like, he understands there are people's lives. Why would he care about any of the people on the roof when they're all up there? If he didn't care about them, he wouldn't tell them that the roof is about to blow. It's been rigged to blow, and trying to get him to go back downstairs. He wouldn't care. He came up there looking for Holly. That's all he cared about.
Where's Holly? Oh, she's down there. Well, everyone get off the roof and then I'll go save her.
Exactly. Instead of just turning around and leaving, which I also, a big part of me wonders if movies nowadays might have had him run off and maybe not save the people up there. And that, again, the whole twist of the roof being rigged to blow would not have been revealed. He wouldn't have known about it, so then that way he goes up there, he's like, okay, and he runs back downstairs, and then you have the explosion where you find, you realize, like, oh my God, those people just died. Like, and like,
I think in a modern movie, Al would have gone up there and saved the day. To make it more complicated, to give a more spoon-fed arc to a character, they would have had Al rush up there and save the people. They would have split it off instead of having John running his ass off all over the place being the hero. They would have found a way to make other people have arcs. Maybe Dwayne Robinson himself would have gone up there and saved the day and redeemed himself. But he doesn't need redemption.
No.
That's why this script is so good. That's why this movie is so good.
He's a dick. He's always been a dick. He will always be a dick.
John's
End of story.
Hero.
Yeah. John's the hero with a nice little extra bit for Argyle and Al. There you go. Just like, all right, that's good. I'm okay with that.
Now, Holly herself is relatively the weakest character in the movie, but I won't criticize her completely because there's still so much about her we get from how she walks into Hans and says, we need to have bathrooms, and there's a pregnant one out here who needs a couch. What idiot put you in charge? You did. You're the idiot who put me in charge when you shot my boss. Like, she's tough, and in those the moments like that, I could see why someone like John McClane would love this woman because she doesn't take shit.
Exactly. She is literally him to a degree. Like, it's the whole, like, not opposites, because it's not the opposites attracting, but like, it's his equal. It's his equal person that obviously she's not gonna. The reason why she's not giving up on the marriage is because she is kind of tough, and she's like, no, we will work. We'll figure out a way to make this work. We'll take care of this. Oh, that's something we have to. Okay, for another time.
So I will point out that you chose Die Hard to be the first episode here.
Yes.
Okay, and really, Die Hard is a sequel.
That is true.
Now, Die Hard, the franchise, began here.
Correct.
But Die Hard came from a book that was a sequel. It was the second book in a series called The Detective. And The Detective was made in, the 60s?
Yep.
Starring Frank Sinatra.
Now, obviously, not the same as Die Hard.
No. But it's, not even by a long shot. In fact, fun little factoid is that contractually, Fox was obligated to ask Frank Sinatra first to take the role or pass on it. Before they could go forward with casting, they were contractually obligated to ask Frank Sinatra if he wanted the part.
Could you imagine?
Oh my God. No, I can't. I don't want to.
No. Hold on. Could you imagine 73-year-old Frank Sinatra?
Hey,
73.
Hans, let my wife go. You piece of crap. Boom, boom. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. Boom. When the weather outside is frightful.
Do you think he would sing the end theme song like Will Smith did?
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. That would just... that would be such a different movie in so many ways.
Boom. Funny or Die, College Humor. Make that parody. You know what? What am I talking about? We should make that parody.
We should.
Movie preview. In 1988, Frank Sinatra was contractually obligated to play John McClane. If he wanted the part, this is the movie that would have existed.
Oh my goodness. 20 years ago, he played Joe Leland, a New York cop.
Coast, have a few laughs. Now I...
Boom.
Okay.
Wow.
But this was the beginning. This movie. This movie is so good, and it's all, you can watch at any point in the year. It's funny that you would pick this and that we recorded today, because I spoke to my older sister today, and just in conversation, she mentioned she hates this movie. She thinks it's the dumbest movie. She cannot suspend her disbelief that anyone could go through this, and she hates it. And I was like, I need you to rewatch this movie. You have to watch it again. If you haven't seen it in a long time, watch it again, fresh eyes, fresh opinion, and see if you have different feelings about it. Because so many movies since have mimicked it. Because it is a formula that works so well. Why not make it, let's see, Die Hard on a plane, Die Hard on a boat, Die Hard as a little kid who's left home for Christmas.
Yep. And it really did. It spawned, like, it redefined, and I know that this, in modern movies and like trailers and reviews always use that phrase, like, redefining a generation's love for action. Like, I hate that phrase, that whole, like, redefining, but it technically did. It kind of went, well, here's some things that worked from past action movies or past movies in general, not just action. And we're going to take that and we're going to kind of tweak it and modify it a little bit. And here you go. Here's the new one. It doesn't have to be a Rambo. It doesn't have to be an Arnold Schwarzenegger. It can be an everyday man. Let's go. And yeah, so many movies since then have mimicked that style of the everyday man being in this outrageously over-the-top world. Now, this movie, on the other hand, does still, while yes, I will agree, and I can understand some people's opinion on the movie being like, it's so over the top. That's so unrealistic. That would never happen. That would never happen. He would have been dead, 10 minutes in the movie or whatever. But
you can't fall from an air duct and grab a ledge. It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen without, you're going to die. He's in the air vent at this point with broken fingers. But like, you past those a little bit, because they're not that many over the top moments, not that many over the top. There is a lot of very realistic. Yeah, that could happen. That could have happened. I
suspend my disbelief that far.
Right. It's not like movies nowadays, where, I don't know, there's a giant action scene and you dive out of a helicopter and you don't have a parachute and you land on a building and you tumble over and explosions are happening and you get up and walk away. Yeah. Like, fine. Like, you watch him in this movie, he gets his feet cut. He's stumbling around for the rest of the movie, obviously in pain. He gets shot. He's got a giant wound on his arm. He doesn't use that arm that much anymore because it hurts.
He's beat down. Down.
But, the only reason why he still even goes, because yes, the average person would just be like, fuck this, I'm done. The only reason why he's even still going is because he, like we said, he is trying to get Holly. He is trying to do the right thing. And if he had his way, he would die trying to save those people. I feel like in the end, he would have
sacrificed himself. Yeah.
Exactly. If it meant, very cliche, if it meant him diving towards Han and taking him out the window with him as the only way to save Holly, he probably would have done it, But obviously, that's not where it went, and
we get it. We get a happy ending. We get a happy ever after. Al will have a crap ton of paperwork to fill out.
Oh my God!
John and Holly get to go have Christmas.
I could not imagine the level of paperwork involved in this, and just all the rules that that they got, that got broken, and just.
But you know what? We don't need that. That I'll suspend my disbelief because I don't even need to see it. That could be. I'll just assume that happened. I don't need to see it.
Right.
But I ask you, as you ask yourself and ask me and ask the podcast here, did this movie leave you wanting more? Right.
Because I mean, that is the point. Because truthfully, when it comes to this podcast, when it comes to the point of this show is to discuss, should there have been a sequel in our opinions. Again, this is strictly our opinions.
Right. And we aren't fools. We know there are sequels to this movie.
Exactly.
But the question is, just based on this movie alone, do we need more? Do we want more? Do we need more? So, what do you think, Jeff?
So this is, before we started, I made that comment. I love the characters. I love the story. Mm-hmm. I don't need a sequel, personally. Yeah. Like I realized that. I realized by this recent viewing, and again, like you said, we know there's sequels, and when we get to the other ones, we'll talk more about them. But I watched this movie, and when Let It Snow starts playing, I went, yep, the end. I'm satisfied. Yep.
Got it.
You know what? I'm sure John and Holly, they probably still had some things they had to work out, but they got it figured out. They got it taken care of. You know, obviously it wasn't as bad as it might have been at the beginning, but they figured things out. I don't know I don't know if John stayed with her in LA. I don't care. I'm sure they're happy. I'm sure Al is happy, and I'm sure that John and Al became friends. Yes, they stopped the bad guy. I'm okay. I'm good. I don't need to see more.
What more do we need to know? And I will say, I'm going to agree with you that no, I don't think this movie needs a sequel. And in terms of but I like this character. I like all these characters. I want to keep playing in this world with these characters. That's why I always go back and watch this movie. Mm-hmm. I don't need another Die Hard. I just need to watch Die Hard again.
Yeah,
that's what this movie. This movie's so rewatchable. I don't know if that makes sense. It's its own sequel. Like you don't need. I don't think this movie needs a sequel. I think you could just watch this movie, come back to it every once a year even, and appreciate it all over again.
Be like it's the adventure of John McClane. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was his one really really bad day, and that's so then. So yeah, my opinion is that no, there does not need to be. You don't need a sequel to it. And then I started kind of in my head going like, well, why? And like you made a lot of really good points. My other thing is like, well, how would you have topped this movie? How could you have topped this? And then B, yeah, I know. And then B, like, does it all of a sudden then at that point become utterly unbelievable, and does it take away from the first one if you find a way to top this movie, and now it's like, oh, so this over the top ridiculous stuff just keeps happening to this character,
to this poor guy, yeah.
Right. And then it's like, now you're starting to lose me about the character and about this world that you did so well at introducing in the first film. Now it's just like, oh, so this is just kind of commonplace for him. Okay.
And I think this is something that we will talk about again and again, or you will talk about again and again on this podcast, not just in the series that I'm doing with you now, but the future series, is that we live in a climate now where franchising is the name of the game.
Yeah.
World building, universe building is the name of the game. But that wasn't what the standard was in 1988.
No.
The standard in 1988 was make a movie, make money, move on.
Yep.
And movies now, to a point of utter, I hate getting to the end of a movie that has the balls to think it's going to get a sequel right out of the bat. You know, you get to I know some, like, Marvel movies are made with the intention, Marvel movies are treated like a TV series, treated like a season of a TV series where you get to spend episodes with this character, then episodes with this character, then we get to the season finale. That's how the phases of Marvel movies are handled.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But then you have movies like I'm just trying to think of one that had the guts to think they would ever get a sequel. It's like the Hunger Games, obviously, they went in with the intention of making more of those. But Divergent, for example. Divergent thought they could succeed where Hunger Games had succeeded, so they made a movie that had an ending like, oh, don't wait, there's more.
Right.
And that is nonsense.
Yep. If you can't make a movie that tells me, okay, look, setting up other things that you could work on in future movies is one thing, but when it pulls away from the completion of the story you're trying to tell, the point where it's like, you're purposefully telling me only this much, so you have something to talk about in the sequel,
right?
Like that you
Green
assume.
Lantern. There you go. Green Lantern is an example of a more recent film in the past less than 10 years. That's like, oh yeah, you think you're gonna. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Just tell me a complete good movie, please.
Yep. If you can't tell me one complete movie, how am I supposed to ever get on board with watching a sequel if there ever was a sequel? And there's and I'm worried about not worried. I'm intrigued in the future to see how many times, perhaps in the past, this has happened to movies or just in other franchises, and to see what they've done with those situations when they did make a sequel, but it didn't continue anything that we just saw. I have a feeling that's going to be like Halloween 3 and 4.
But to tie this into Die Hard itself, the reason I went on that tangent about discussing sequels and franchising is Die Hard is so refreshing of a film now, all these decades later, because it's a complete story.
Yep.
There wasn't any sort of "don't wait, there's more," which you got in the past. You did get that in the past with movies. Intermittently, and it's just become more and more commonplace to assume that if a movie is going to do relatively well, it'll get a sequel. It's refreshing to watch something like Die Hard, to get a complete movie, a complete story, and go, good. Now I don't have to pop in the next movie. I don't have to wait to answer any questions. I feel complete.
Yep.
And that's why I say no. I don't think Die Hard needs a sequel.
I agree wholeheartedly, but
I do love the character so much that I would say yes. This is a character that deserves to be seen again. How's that for an answer?
I like that answer, and that's you're talking along the exact same lines that I am, and that was kind of my general thought process behind the film, is just being like, yes, me personally, no, I do not need a sequel to Die Hard, but. Because of I am content with how the story ended, how it was wrapped up. But yes, I like the characters enough that if you were to throw a sequel at me to Die Hard, perhaps called Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Then maybe I will watch this. Wait. So you're telling me who's in it? Okay. All right, let's watch. Let's see where they go with this one. Now, you think... So just kind of looking at the numbers, the Die Hard, trying not to make this be top shelf, but I can't help it. Die Hard had a budget of $28 million, and in its theatrical run, it grossed 80 in the U.S. alone.
In 88, that's a huge success.
Exactly. So now, is that the reason why there's a sequel? Do you think Hollywood went? Now, why? Now let's so we gave our personal opinions. Do you think Hollywood went? Well, it made a lot of money. People seem to like this character, so we're gonna make part 2.
If John McClane in the Die Hard movie itself was the anti-Rambo, Hollywood already had multiple Rambos. At least in the pipe, they were planning multiple Rambos. So, and I think maybe that was the mentality of, hey, people like action movies that continue. Let's do another one.
Yes, you could argue that with Lethal Weapon. You could argue that with a lot of those 80 franchises and just that general time frame. So, okay, interesting.
It is a good business move to see a movie, a $22 million budget. You said
28.
$28 million budget that tripled its budget. That's a huge success. And any businessman's gonna go, well, let's do this again, because this was clearly a formula that worked. And when we get into Die Hard 2, that'll be a discussion to be had about what works, what doesn't, obviously.
Yep, and that's where this, kind of taking a step back a little bit, that's where this podcast series is going to have the most fun, because obviously in a lot of cases the first movie in the franchise is always going to be like, well, yeah, I really enjoy, most of the time, not all the time, yeah, I really enjoyed it, that was a great film, yeah, I could have used a sequel because that would have been a lot of fun to see that. No, we don't need a sequel. The real fun is going to come into the subsequent movies, in the sense of did this live up to being a sequel to the previous film? Should this have been the direction the movie went? Where could it have gone that might have been a better sequel? Like, that's where the fun's going to get. The first ones are going to just be, let's reminisce about the movie and how awesome the movie is.
Yeah, no kidding. We're going to spend an hour, like 45 minutes, talking about how much we loved or hated the movie, and about a little bit of time discussing the sequelness of it.
Yep.
You're right. Getting into 2 to 3, 4, 5, like wherever the series goes, or whatever series you choose to discuss.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. The discussing, does it live up to the first? Does it deserve to keep going? Have we had enough? Give me more.
Why did part 4, what about this movie worked that the studio went, let's make a part 5 when it's already so far gone that it doesn't resemble the first film? Like
or
that
maybe
talk.
It does. I don't know, because we're only discussing about number 1 right now.
Exactly. And I do know there are certain franchises where they got better as they went into their sequels and then started getting crappier again. So that's for another conversation, another series, another episode. So, but yeah, I guess honestly with that information, I feel good. I feel good about it. Our final verdict is that we personally believe that there should not have been a sequel to Die Hard. We don't need a sequel to Die Hard because we feel complete. The movie's complete in its own. We're happy with it. We're content. Yes, it's its own story. We're okay with it, but we're okay with there being a sequel.
Yes, yeah. The character deserves to be visited again.
Yes, because it was such an interesting character. Now, again, out of our heads as to what is the next movie, just going, I would like to see more of that character. What else would happen with this character? Where else could they go with it?
Yeah, well, there's a fair question for you. I know we're getting near the end here and we don't want to keep going. But there's a fair question for you. If you were to make a sequel to this movie, what would you like to see?
Ooh, interesting. That's a good question.
Because I don't want to see John McClane getting his marriage back together, living and seeing all that, the paperwork, if I may put that as a term. I don't need to see the paperwork. Let's come back to this character a couple years later and see how he's doing. Would you put him in a similar situation? See, there's okay. Do you kind of have a thought of what you would do if you did a sequel?
That's what I'm trying to think of, and I'm trying to think of
what I would do if they're going to make a sequel to Die Hard. I don't think John McClane should be the main character. I think he should be the Obi-Wan Kenobi Al character.
Okay.
Have someone else get into a situation kind of similar to what we just experienced in Die Hard 1, and you need an expert who can solve this, who can deal with this situation, who's someone who's lived through this before. Get me John McClane.
Gotcha.
Something like that, maybe, and especially staying with the late 80s, early 90s mentality of how movies were to be made. If you were going to do a sequel just a couple years later, I would make John share the movie with a second. So where Al was at the car, now put not Al himself, but a second character side by side with John, and put them on an adventure together.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because if you think about it, now I don't want to predict the future here, but that's essentially what 3 is.
Exactly. And we're going to have fun when it comes to part 3.
But there you go. That'd be my pitch. Yes, I don't think it needs a sequel. I do think John McClane deserves a sequel. And if it were going to be a sequel, I would make him share the screen with somebody. That would be my pitch for a Die Hard 2.
Because John, I know I'm on board with that. That's a really great idea. Because John McClane himself, even when they go to him to be like, "Look, we need your help," he would still be himself, being like, "No, I did that shit once. I'm not doing it again. I'm not going through. I got my and little comment. I got my family back together. I'm going with my wife. Whatever. I'm it's little comments.
It's anniversary dinner with Holly. I can't ignore her. We have troubles as it is.
Yep. Yeah,
we have that party tonight. Don't forget. They're calling me into work.
But I'll be there. I'll totally be there. Don't worry. I'll be there. And then just have him being out there trying to help. And don't make it be another, it's not another hostage situation in a building and they're trying to don't literally, again, in the 80s, they would have just rehashed the first film's plot. Maybe
in the 80s, have you seen Hangover 2?
What are you talking about? There's only one Hangover.
There's only one Hangover,
Just like there's only 3 Indiana Jones films. There's I'm gonna crap for that when we start talking about those. But no, like there's like don't put it in the same scenario, because even movies like Lethal Weapon, the first 2 are very similar. The third one though kind of departs and goes a different direction, and the fourth one kind of departs and goes a different direction. Like just more adventures with that character, but don't rehash the first film again. Don't do a sequel. Put it be somewhere else. Put it, if you want to have a bad guy and have a hostage, okay, that's fine, but don't put it in a building. Don't make it the Towering Inferno again.
Yeah.
So no, that's a good idea. That would be something that we need to keep in mind for future episodes, because that's a great talking point. What would we do if what would we do for the sequel? What would this be? What should this movie have been when it comes to the sequels? Not necessarily the first film. That's a good idea. Wow. See, look at that. We went into this podcast having a very basic idea, and now we have better ideas.
We've created a structure. Yeah. Right.
Yay, structure.
So Die Hard, everyone.
Die Hard. Great film. Oh, I love this movie so much. It's so much fun. But with that, obviously, as we made a slight reference to, we will be back for Die Hard 2. Die Harder. It's gonna be a fantastic film. TC, where go ahead and plug stuff if you have anything you wish to plug anywhere. Where can people follow you? All that fun stuff.
You can follow me on Twitter at TC's Big Head. I don't use it very often, but I've been using it a little bit more here and there. And if you want to see some of the movies that I've written and directed, you can head over to firmamentfilms.com and check out some of the shorts that I've done.
What about your podcast?
Yes, I do.
You guys have been doing forever.
I wasn't sure if I could plug another podcast.
Oh, go ahead.
If you want to hear me talk at length about current movie news and older movies as well, similar to what we're doing here, I have a podcast called The Rewatchman, where me and my co-host Benjamin Toe take a look back at a movie we have a strong feeling about, but we haven't seen in a long time, rewatch it, and determine if it's as good or as bad as we remember it. And that's available on iTunes for free.
It's a great show. Great podcast. I enjoy that podcast so much. And it's not just because I've never been on it.
I've tried.
Yes,
I know.
I've tried
getting you on several times.
I'm just giving you crap because I've been meaning to get on that show at some point. And then for me, you guys can follow me. I am on the Twitters. I will randomly live tweet movies that I watch just every once in a while. I did it for the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise and Friday the 13th franchise because I was bored in the months of August and September. I am at Random Bell. If you wish to listen to more of me, I also used to have a podcast, which you probably will see in the cover art of this podcast, Top Shelf AFI Top 100, which I did with Miss Lindsay Shank. We have 110 episodes where we watched every single movie on the AFI Top 100 and talked about each one, similar to this, just different still. So you can find that on iTunes
podcast.
As well.
Very digestible. My Rewatchman will go on for hours. You guys were very smart about your length.
we got like after the first 25 episodes, we're like, oh, we got to make these shorter because we can't do it. And people are going to get bored by these. So, but that was a lot of fun, and we wrapped that up in May. So all 110 episodes are out there. Some bonus ones, some just a clip show at the end, and a wrap up. Lots of fun there that took place over the last 2.5 years. So go check that out on iTunes as well. And with that, TC, I thank you very much for being on the show with me today. Thank you. We'll be back next time for Die Hard 2, Die Harder. And until then, I don't have a sign off. That should be just my sign off because I never have a sign off or anything.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See you, everybody.
This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.